Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you. We about to have a good lesson today. It's called the concept and action and fate in the Maat philosophy. Remember, it's all Maat. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in my story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. You know how we do. Let's go. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through a mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my eye, be true. This is a good chapter of some information I'm going to try to get across to you. Hope you can understand it. So you see here the I. That's not the I I wrote. That's just the all-seeing eye conceptually, okay? In the mind of I read, okay? I read. The definition is action. To do something, okay? Things done. You put out, you're going to get back. That's I read. Action causes another action. That's called cause and effect, okay? Reap what you sow. So let's get this lesson in, because after this we go into the judgment hall, my favorite. Okay. Maat philosophy, and that's what we're practicing, is based on the concept of what? Of actions. And actions are called I read. One's actions leave what? Impressions of the unconscious mind, and these emerge later as what? As desires, which impel you, your personality, to certain situations. We call them fetters. Due to ignorance, you're going to put yourself in situations that's not going to be pleasurable or beneficial to you. Moving on. And this is all about your actions. You control this. This is what I'm trying to teach you. This is an important lesson. This concept is illustrated most succinctly in the teachings of Merkara, Merikara. He was a philosopher that I got something by him, instructions. He gave life lessons from a perspective of karma. All right? But now in the commission system, the god Asar serves the function of what? Again, the function of administering what? Maat. Remember, he had to pass the scales of Maat because he had to live a righteous life, and he did. Okay, so he's first one he passed. So everybody after that got to come through him, so to speak. Okay, now. Okay, I saw the function of Maat. The God-based what? Their discussions, their decisions about one's fate by means of what? Examining one's record as what? As a human being. From the time you come into this world, you become a player, and you're the dictator of your fate and your future based on your actions, your I read. And for the first 7 years, whatever environment you're in, that's going to set the tone. And until you reprogram, you're going to be functioning on whatever you was around. If it's good, positive. If it's bad, dysfunctional. A lot of that going on, but you can change that as you get older. Moving on. Excuse me. But this record that we keep is termed karma. Okay? In India and Iri in Egypt. Same thing, different names. See how that go? And what's this? But the name they call them don't change the fact that what it is. That's my point. And now watch this. Now in Indian history, the word karma appears in the Vedic tradition with the meaning of what? The act of sacrifice as in a ritual. Moving on. Now in the Upanishadic tradition, which is another part of India, they got different philosophy. Watch this. The word takes on much more expanded and a profound meaning that what? It has come to represent in modern times as what they call the residue, or your mental impressions of any action performed by an unenlightened person. Meaning what you do out of ignorance and what you think and feel out of ignorance, if you don't do it, it's going to linger around, it's going to wait around to manifest for itself. Be it good or bad. Most of it is always bad. So that's what they're trying to explain to you. If your actions don't yield benefits, it wasn't a good action. If you plant seeds and it don't grow, something you did wrong. Understand that. Moving on. But you are the responsible person for what your actions are, and this residue will remain with what a person when, even after death. Why? Due to that person's desires to what? Experience their pleasures from their what? Performance of what? Certain actions. You know, if you do this, you're doing that to get that. That's the hidden agenda. That's the devil's agenda. Moving on. And every time you do that act, you're committing a devilish act that makes you the devil, not some fictitious character. No, you. The devil is anybody in opposition to God or anything that's good. If you do bad, you the devil. Moving on. Why? Because of spiritual ignorance. That's why. When you don't know you, to a degree with knowing what's right and wrong, to do what's right, knowing you're going to get rewarded, you're going to do what's wrong to take the monetary gain, that's the devil's workshop right there. Right there. You don't want to work for it. You want to just have it given to you real easy. And it always comes with a price that you might not want to pay. The rule on the streets was, in the game, it's self-defeating when you get caught cheating. Why? Because you might not want to pay them dues. Sometimes it can cost you your life in addition to 30 grand. My man understand that one. But since the mystical philosophy maintains that what? Happiness can only come from what? You ready? Self-knowledge. My neighborhood. Cosmic or divine consciousness, meaning knowing thyself, knowing who you are, knowing how and what you are, from stem to stern, self-mastery, whatever you want to call it, and not from a worldly pursuits or egoistic nonsense. It will inevitably lead to what? Disappointment. If you believe you all you are, you ain't gonna go far. You may get rich and famous, but you still ain't gonna find you or know you. Okay? Watch this. Now, and that leads to what? Constant disappointments. But if not in this lifetime, what happens? In the future one, it's gonna stay around. It ain't going nowhere. That's the purpose. However, now, this is not realized by people. Why? Because when some actions are performed, they're doing it because they can get something behind it. They're not doing it because it's the right thing to do. That's called a hidden agenda. They seem to give, what's this? The desired result of what? Pleasure. That's what they're doing it for. Be it money, objects, things, or pleasures of the flesh. This, then what? It leads to the developing of cravings in the personality as people come to depend on the results of their actions. I mean, if I do this, I'm going to get back. Yeah, that's cause and effect. But when you start using it for the wrong purpose and the wrong reason, now karma going to bite you. What's this? Now, through their actions, to experience what happiness. That ain't happiness. Or, as it is referred to in yoga concept, the fruits of action. You got doers and you got non-doers. I gave you that lesson. A doer, everybody think the doer is good. No, the do is doing it because they're going to get something behind it. A non-doer will do it for the selfish reason and what? The right reason, the purpose. That's the difference. Oh, I'm a doer. Yeah, I know. Till you think, oh, no, you know what you are. Again, but that person feels that what? That if they can engage in this action again and again, what happened? They will be happier, a happier person. Or at least derive the same or more pleasure. You know, anything you do after a while, you're going to need more to get you where you want to go. Remember that concept? Yeah. Why? Because the body's built that way, to build up immunity. Simple. And thus, what happens? Now they strive to perform those same actions that seem to bring them what? Pleasure and joy as much as possible. So if it's your thing, you want to do it every chance you get with whoever you can, male or female, some people. So that's just physical, means nothing. Okay, and you strive to what? Avoid, and consequently they develop dislike for those actions, what? Or situations which they perceive as what? Being an obstacle. I mean, if doing the right thing is a problem, get out of here. Okay, those kind of people, watch this, and it becomes an obstacle for what? For their hindrance of the experience of pleasure. You crack my style, man. You blocking me. Yo, man, come on. You know how that go. All right. But you got many times what happened. Their actions to what? Recapture that pleasure. The first time people smoke that pipe, first experience. When you hit that thing, man, it take you somewhere, and all you want to do is go back there. Now you chasing. That's the concept. Moving on. Just want to give you a breakdown. And that's for anything that you like. And you want what? More of it. But once you get that taste, that's the best it's going to get. Moving on. And what? They experienced what? Previously, they want the same thing. And they want the similar circumstances. But it will not bring them the pleasures that they want. Due to what? To many obstacles that develop in their life. Other things are going on. However, people simply make excuses for themselves and everybody else. For those what? For these times of what? Disappointment. Well, this happened. Well, because of that happened. And they become what? Frustrated. And they continue on with their next pursuit. Well, all right, moving on. Other people, they always start projects and never finish it. That's what we talk about. Don't be them. Now, another problem is that one cannot pursue that which gives pleasure on a continuous basis. We used to get high, weekend party, do our thing. But come Sunday, we wind it down. Why? We got to go back to work on Monday, get back to the real world. Okay, so now you can't do it on a continuous basis, but they tend to do that. Thus, this is not true happiness. False. True happiness is defined as an experience of what? The state of enlightenment. When you realize you and God are one, that's true happiness right there. Right there. Now, anything after that, you can control. Why? Because you can repeat that over and over again. Okay? Whereby one experience joy, what? All the time. Become God conscious. No reason to be unhappy. Why? I got God with me. I'm good. Okay? Now, in all conditions and situations and circumstances, you keep that mindset, you'll be fine. People might think you're crazy, but you'll be just fine. All right? Moving on. But this means that what? True happiness is not a byproduct of or a dependent on doing some activity or acquiring some object or better situation. But rather it is a state of being. It is unaffected by any situation or life circumstances in the physical world. It is a person's true essence. Can't be touched. Tom Hammer can't touch this. Its true essence. What? When an enlightened person perform actions, why? They are not doing it so to become happy as the result, but why? Because it is the right action and it's a selfless act that you can do over and over again and get the same results from what? God, which is a blessing for doing the right thing. Don't think you can let's keep doing that. Okay? That you can do continuous. And what happened? And that they are being guided to do what? That connection to the divine. Excuse me. I'm here every day, not because somebody make me do, not because somebody know, because I'm driven to do it. That's my point right there. Right there. And I do it continuously. 6 years now. Moving on. So if you're going to serve him, serve him. It's going to be some times. But you don't stop serving him because of circumstances, situations. He tell you, I never leave you. Sorry about that. I sound like a preacher. But my point is, the spiritual concept, God is present with me all the time. You got to become conscious of that, and that will help you make better decisions on doing what you need to do. Why? Because if you know God, certain things you're not going to do to look bad in his eyesight. Why? You got to pay for that. Actions, your IRE. Moving on. When it's good, you know. Moving on, I see the cloud. All right, let me get this thing out of the way. But this means that, again, the true happiness comes from doing things, get stuff. Now, when an enlightened person does it, he's doing it for the right reason. I only do what I think is good. Why? So I know I'm doing what's right. How it's perceived and received got nothing to do with me. How many people don't got nothing to do with me? I'm here daily doing my job. Thus, watch this. Now, in effect, they are what? Performing. You ready? This is beautiful. Divinely ordained work. That every one of your preachers in the pulpit claim they're doing that. Claim. They should be. And if they did it right, that's just what they be doing. Okay? I ain't in the pulpit, but that's what I'm doing. On my terms. My pastor said I'm a minister of right thinking philosophy. Okay, however you want, whatever you call it, fine. Other people say I'm a sage, whatever. But I'm doing it because I'm divinely ordained to just be. I don't have no idea. I stopped working that stuff a few years ago now. What the hell? Why am I doing this? Okay, now I know. So I have no more questions. Never question. No, you can question God. He'll answer. Okay, but watch this. You're doing divine work. Thus, karma. How you go? Watch this. Karma impels a person to what? Reincarnate. Why? In order to attempt the fulfillment of their desires that were left over from the previous lifestyles and lifetime, which karma stays around in this cycle of birth and death. Birth continues until what? Until there is a, you ready? Ding, 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 ding. This is where I'm at again. Self-knowledge is acquired of the illusionist of desires and worldly attainments and actions. When you living for him and not him, you good. Thus, karma is what? Is not fate, but the tendency that a person sets up, in their deep unconscious to like or dislike and desires or, are repudiated. Why? Because this duality, choice, keeps the mind flowing from what? Adversities to prosperity. One day is good, next day is bad. Or from pleasurable to painful, joy and pain. Situations in life will happen without achieving a solution or finding peace and indefinitely. Why? They continue to do the same thing. They're not learning the same philosophy of the residue of action that remains in the mind of a person. That deep unconsciousness level may be seen in the Commission teachings by Murakara, which is, many people think of the philosophy, I'm taking it home right here, the philosophy of karma as a concept that originated in India. Not so fast, my friend. Get him, Lee Corso. The following text shows, I'm going to read it to you, that it is a concept that was well understood, where incorrect, and very much in harmony with what today referred to as karma, still today. In ancient Egypt, the word for karma was iri, still the same, meaning action, again, which attaches to a person and leads them to what? Their fate, aka Shah, even beyond death. This is the same understanding what in the Hindu philosophy, they practice the same thing. The Commission's teachings to Makara and then the Pert Imharu eliminate this teachings. Illuminates this teaching in detail. Highlighted text by Dr. Ashby. It states the instructions from chapter 14 in the Pert Imharu. The court that judges the wretch, okay, You and I, human form, we get judged. You know they are not lenient. Don't care. No emotions, no concerns, nope. One day of the judging of the miserable in the 1 year, it's going to be in the hour of doing this task. It is painful. What? When the accuser has acknowledged what? And do not trust in the length of years, because time don't mean nothing in the next realm. They view a lifetime, what? In an hour. So can't depend on that. Hoping, no, it don't work that way. Okay? But when a man remains over after death, his ire, his deeds, his actions are what? Set beside him. Karma comes in. This is yours. Okay? Bags all packed. This is yours. Deal with it. And that's going to be the burden of your heart at Judgment Day. Watch this. And it's set beside him as his treasure or his demise. And being yonder lasts what? Forever. Remember, when God gives his judgment, it's for eternity. Yeah, no. You're going to get this or you're going to get that. And you might not want to get that if you don't do this. So understand that everybody has a choice. You got a 50-50 shot. And gamblers don't get a better shot than that. Nobody do. But watch this. Now, this going to be forever. Whatever decision that he make at that time for you, party's over. A fool, there you go, is one who what? Who does what they reprove. That means you do stuff you regret. And you constantly did it. God's all forgiving. God's all merciful. He'll forgive me. Reckless actions is not forgiven. It's dealt with harshly. That's my point. What's this? And he who reaches them without having done wrong, meaning cleaned up your act, put yourself back together and doing the right thing, when you walk around staying the spotless, now you're perfect in your spiritual walk with God, as y'all say. Okay, I say with knowledge of self, you're walking with God, so it don't make a difference how you walk with him. But once you put the work in, you are getting it, because that's what you deserve. That's what you earn. Just like the other way, you're going to get that too. Like my man told him in the boxing match, you give him the old 1-3. He said, what about the 2? He said, oh no, you get the 2. Don't worry about it. You'll understand. Moving on. So, and he who reaches them without having done wrong, live the righteous life, know thyself, gain nihas, will what? Will exist there, what? Like a God. Once you know yourself, that's where you go. That's what y'all talking about, heaven up. He's going back to the maker. The spirit goes back to its maker. It's ultimate. It's all last. It's everything. So it don't care about how long it takes to come back. Okay? You throw that fish line, don't care how far it run. It's coming back sooner or later. What? It's mine. Moving on. Wrapping it up. Again, I'm going to wrap this up. When you exist like a God, that means you're there forever. Eternity. Mortality. Get it? Immortality. Free striding, okay, like the Lord's forever. That's the goal for all right thinkers and all our Egyptian ancient ancestors. That's what they lived for. And they did it for thousands of years in harmony. That's what I want to get the information so I can do just that. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. In closing, let me read this to you right quick, because this is the best part right here. The writings of Merkara confirm the understanding of a subtle aspect of what actions which follow one's even after death. This residue is judged at the destiny is administered thereby. The signals, this signifies that a person is the author of his or her own fate. Your fate, your destiny is not planned. It ain't predestined. No, that's bullcrap. They tell you that right here. In essence, karmic fortune. This teaching also conveys the relativity of what? Time and space, as the judges exist in a different plane than the worldly physical state. And the passage of time is different for them. Told you about that. Thus, this passage also contains a reference which shows a comprehension of what? The relativity of time in different planes and existence, much like the Hindu metaphysics have different realms, different concepts. We have the same thing. But we need to understand that we are the authors of our life and our destiny is in our hands. They told us that thousands of years ago. It's not a new concept. Understand it? Hope you got the lesson. Maat philosophy has been around a long time. Everybody stole some parts of it. I'm trying to bring you up to speed on the original concept. You can practice it for yourself, and you know that it works. Still to this day, knowing thyself, having knowledge of self, still works. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. In closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100. It's a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. I'll be back. We about to do the judgment seat with my yacht, dog.